Unless you have been living under a rock, I'm sure you've noticed the real estate market has quickly changed. So in this week's video, I'm going to tell you how to master expired. But before I get started, are you going to subscribe to my channel?
Yes.
Great. So let's get right into it. So interest rates have gone from little as 2.5% up to 7%, and they are expected to top 8%, which has quickly changed the real estate market, as you can tell. And let's be honest, agents, in the last 2 years, business was pretty easy. People were calling us to come buy a house no matter what, reaching out to us online through Facebook or whatever, or Google or Zillow, and now things have kind of dried up. And I truly believe the ones that will survive this next market shift are going to have to do 3 times the amount of activity normal. And one of the top ways, I believe, in a shifting market is expired. I was an agent during the last downturn in the late 2008 era, 2009, and I really heavily relied on expireds all the way up to even to like 2015. Now, I didn't really master it like some agents in our marketplace or some other agents, but I definitely know it is a quick and cheap way to get listing. So one of the things that I like to tell people about it is right off the bat, when you call expired, remember this: fortune is in the follow-up, because most agents, when they call expired, they just call right when they expire and the house came off or it was withdrawn. And remember, most of the people are gonna kind of be a little, how do I say nicely, pissed, because they're getting called by a ton of agents. And I would say about 80% of your first calls, the people are going to hang up on you, or they're going to be like, why are you calling me, or why are so many agents calling me right now? So definitely keep that in mind. And most agents, when they call expires, they'll only call once or twice. So what you are going to kill it is you're going to be calling for a couple weeks, and you're going to add them to a CRM if you do talk to them, and try to follow up from there. So just remember my advice: fortune is in the follow-up. Now, one thing with expireds are you're definitely going to need a good software to use, like some sort of dialer, or get their phone numbers in a good way, and definitely check with your brokerage to make sure you know that you can do it this way, because sometimes you got to scrub for do not call list and all that. And obviously I'm not an attorney, or I would not be doing this YouTube video right now. But one software I recommend you could do is called RedX. They pull all the expireds for you every morning. I found their data to just be okay. They do now, I believe, have a built-in dialer. One thing I do like about RedX, and they can probably show you how, is they can actually pull old expireds, maybe from like as much as 15 years ago. And you can call those people and be like, hey, were you still thinking about selling your house? Did your plans change? Because remember, the goal with expireds are, you know, these people have raised their hand and said, hey, I want to sell my house. So they are actual good leads, whether they were older or newer. Another good software that I recommend is called Vulcan 7. They tend to get better cell phone numbers, other numbers. Now, sometimes I will say about Vulcan 7 though, is I found that I would get connected to a relative, and with the script there, what I would do is I would just end up saying, hey, is there any way I can get a hold of them? I want to talk to them about their house. So remember, you definitely got to have a good software, and you want to call early, starting around like 8:30 or 9 at the latest. Yes, believe it or not, you got to get up early to call expireds. So let's talk about one of the most perfect scripts. The script that I used was Mike Ferry's script, and you can easily get it on his website for free. And I will link it in the comment section below, or the description below, as well as links for Vulcan 7 and RedX. And definitely comment on the channel as well if you have any thoughts, and I will respond to it. I want to know how you're doing with expireds, and if you've ever called or not. And if you need a good coach for one, I can definitely put you in touch with a guy that I know is a master of expireds, and he doesn't charge that much money. So without further ado, let's get into the Mike Ferry script, and I will kind of go through it line by line, and I will tell you why this script works. All right, so let's get into the Mike Ferry script. Again, you can just get this for free on his website. I literally Googled Mike Ferry script, and I'll put a link in the description below. So, hi, I'm looking for Chris. My name is Chris Colgan with eXp Realty. Right there, you might get some people that are hanging up on you, or they're like, oh my God, you're the 50th person that's called. But really quickly, what you want to do is go into, I'm sure you figured out that your home came up on our computer as an expired listing, and I was calling to see, and maybe they'll stop you there. Or I would usually say, I was calling to see if you were still looking to sell that home. Now, if they instantly say, hell no, I'm not selling anymore. Oh my gosh, did your plans change? Instantly hit them with another question. If they say, yeah, my plans changed, you know, my job fell through or whatever, you can go through a little bit more there. Or, know what, I'm putting the house up on the market in a couple years. Well, when do you plan on interviewing the right agent for the job of selling your house? Never. Terrific. Really? Like, you want to stop them in their tracks and keep the conversation going. The key with expireds or any kind of phone selling is you want to be in control of the conversation. So maybe they say never. Okay, terrific. Really? You just say that. It's like kind of like a stopper right there, and it stops them in their tracks. But you want to kind of keep the conversation going and find out their original motivation for why they wanted to sell. So if you sold this home, where would you go next? I'm going to Los Angeles. Wow, that's exciting. How soon did you have to be there? I wish I was there a month ago, or in 3 months. Ouch, already, you know, or they say already, ouch. What are you doing again? You're kind of like controlling the conversation. You're stopping them in their tracks, and you're the one that's in charge, or you're saying something shocking like, ouch. Well, you know, you want to use something like a first name. So, Latasha, what do you think stopped your home from selling? Oh, the agent. Really? Or the market. Really? You know, you just want to say something like that. Keep it simple and keep the questions flowing. How did you happen to pick the last agent you listed with? They were a referral, or they were on Google, or they were on Zillow. Great. Now remember, we're not in the business of bashing other agents. That's not what we do. We are reputable agents like yourself. We don't do that. What did the agent do that you liked best? Honestly, when they're expired, they're probably going to either say something like, you know what, they did good pictures, or honestly, for the most part, they're going to say nothing. Ouch. What do you feel they should have done? Most people, again, are going to say, sold my house, or they should have done this, they should have held open houses, they should have done this. Really? So again, you're just one simple word question. This isn't a hard script. You can literally just have this in front of you and just read it. What will you expect from the next agent you choose? I just want them to sell my house. That's most likely they're going to say. Or I want someone that's honest or dependable, or I want them to do open houses, whatever they say. Terrific. Now you see there's nothing crazy in here. We're not getting off topic. We're not going down some long stories. Have you already chosen the agent to work with? No, I haven't. Wonderful. Well, here's the key. I would like to apply for the job of selling your home. Are you familiar with the techniques that I use to sell houses? No, I'm not. They're going to say that obviously, right? No, I'm not. You're kidding. Well, what would be the best time for me to come by and show you? How about this Monday or Tuesday? Chris, you know what? I'm totally not interested. Monday or Tuesday doesn't work. Well, let me ask you something. It's no cost, no obligation for me to come by for 30 minutes to 45 minutes, really quickly take a look at your house, show you the marketing that I do, and I can tell you why I think your house did not sell. Or they say something like, no, you know what, don't ever call me again, or I'm not interested, I'm not selling like now like I told you. Okay, great, no problem. Can I call you in 6 months? You said you wanted to be there next year. I don't know, Chris, I'll let you know. Okay, you want to follow up with them and you want to say, okay, I'll follow up with you in 6 months. I have always just called once a month, right? Because plans change. What ends up happening is they go back to work and they say, yeah, my house didn't sell. And then people at the office say, well, so-and-so is a realtor, or so-and-so can get your house sold. So I want to be the aggressive one that calls them once a month. I check in with them, leave them a voicemail, maybe shoot them a personal note. And again, what am I doing here? I'm going a little bit further. And what you eventually start to do is, if you don't get the appointment right there, don't be discouraged. Because remember, they just had their house on the market. It was a very emotional thing. They had strangers coming in and out of the house. They had all kinds of traffic in the house. They were excited and the market shifted quickly on them. And now they have all these agents who they thought were gonna rescue them, call them. And also, one thing you probably don't realize is most agents, when the house does not sell, what do? They disappear, right? They disappear on them. They like run away and they don't call them because they're scared to talk to them. But that's not what you're gonna do. You're gonna call them and call them, talk to them, and do a good job for them. So again, like what you want to do is reiterate, hey, let me come by really quick. It should only take 30 to 45 minutes, no cost, no obligation. Let me take a look at your house. Or if you can't close right there on the appointment, don't be discouraged. We don't want to like beat them down with a hammer until we get an appointment. You say no problem, and then you try to get them from the follow-up. Because remember what I said, fortune is in the follow-up. So if you don't get them right then and there, most of these agents that are hardcore calling expired are gonna give up after that first or second conversation. Or a lot of agents get into it and they quickly bail on it. So just remember, fortune's in the follow-up. I've said it like 50 times, but this is the best script by far. I would role play this with other agents in your office, or maybe you want to join our team and we role play all the time with everybody here at Place. But if you have any questions, feel free to message me anytime. Definitely comment below. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I'll see you at the top or from the top.